Goblins and Ghouls, it's the first week in Spooktober, and you know what that means. We gotta go hunting for spooky shirts and or Goosebumps merch, but either way, we're gonna hit up a Ross, a Marshalls, and a TJ Maxx, not in that order, as well as a flea market and a couple Goodwills. I hope everyone else went out there and found something fun and spooky for the month. Here are my finds. Almost every Ross seems to have a Ghostface shirt. If you get lucky, sometimes you find Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger, and if you get really lucky, you come across a Goosebumps shirt, like these. I picked up the Boogeyman shirt. I didn't grab the Night of the Living Dummy 2 shirt because I already have it. I didn't grab the Horrorland shirt either just because it fits really weird. I've tried it on multiple times. Found this Beetlejuice shirt, but it fit really weird, so I didn't get it. Yeah, boy, that motherfucking monster truck, I tell you what. Got on the road, went out of town, checked out my favorite bookstore that's a couple cities up. This Goodwill is known for having the fire. And although it didn't have the greatest Goosebumps score, it was an interesting trip. They actually ended up having a lot more manga and comic books than they did of Goosebumps or R.L. Stine. So, the Stine Tinglers is still there, which I thought was crazy. Decent selection of comic books and a couple manga volumes. Unfortunately, either I didn't need it, or I had it, or it just wasn't worth picking up and flipping. These sell for like $8.99, and after I pay shipping, it just didn't feel like I'd be making any money. I already have Jujutsu Kaisen 1, and I already have Dragon Ball Super 17, or else those would have been great finds. This is the second book in the Kingdom Hearts series, and I don't know if I'd enjoy it, so I didn't pick it up. Me and the wife then stopped off at Oak and Stone Pizza for some cauliflower wings. Then we each got our own pizza. She got the Fun Guy, and I got the Winger Zinger pizza, which just tasted like buffalo. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. After lunch, we went to UTC in Sarasota, which has Ross, Marshalls, and TJ Maxx. The Ross had a t-shirt stand that had this Goosebumps shirt, which is an Attack of the Jack-O-Lantern shirt. So I picked this up, and man, oh man, this is awesome. I love the colors, I love the dark tie-dye. Definitely fits the bill for $8.99. Found a couple more shirts at Ross, including this Instant Ramen shirt, a Dragon Ball shirt with Goku on the front, and a Naruto shirt. Spent the rest of the day with my little brothers back in town, and then Sunday morning came, and I decided to hit the flea market with my family. I'm at the one and only Flea Masters. It's a relic of the past. It hasn't changed in the last 25 years, I swear. Now, I was a bit early on this. It's not fully seasoned yet in Florida. When it's fully seasoned, all the shops are open at Flea Masters. Right now, about half of them were, so there wasn't a whole lot to pick around from, but there was some Halloween stuff, and nothing I couldn't live without. And honestly, out of my favorite 3 bookstores, only one is still open, which was pretty depressing. But I did come across this Titanic. And then I found the great and wise spooky cat at the flea market again, and it liked me, so you got a couple head pats. And then we had more manga, more Halloween, and just more books, but nothing I needed or wanted. Nothing really seemed worth flipping, but it was always fun to look, because you never know what you're going to find. After I went to this bookstore, I happened to pass like a vintage game bin, and essentially there was like some cool lunch boxes and some overpriced figures, but nothing worth buying. Fear, that kind of stuff, manga. Then it was back to another Goodwill with my little brothers, just killing some time with the boys from D-Bro Films. If you like that more campy vlog and jokey style videos, then you probably want to check out that channel, because I make a lot more stuff on that channel with them. Fair, facts.
Buddy, give me all your money.
From here, it was a trip to Whole Foods for some fall flavors, which included but not limited to pumpkin muffins and just regular pumpkins. After we had our Whole Foods snackage, it was time to head up to Tampa. We were going to stop by and see some friends, hit the IKEA. We happened to see that the Glizzlord was in the IKEA. There's a poorly timed joke about the Logitech controller. Too soon. Too soon. I didn't put it there, but I felt I had to film it just because.
I don't know why I'm on this man's shoulder. Usually I'm in their pants.
My best friend Matt, ladies and gentlemen. After that, we headed to Hollow Scream, which was a really fun time. I have a 17-minute clip of that up, so if you want to watch that, head over to D-Bro Films and check it out there. This was the squad waiting to do zombie bumper cars, and God, was it a good time.
Sense. But you got a blood bag too?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm zoomed in.
Yours is fuller than mine.
trip ended on a really good note. We hit all the houses and we got out of there before midnight. Quick shot of me working the first job, just showing you what I do. In between transit from my first job to my second job on Monday, I stopped at the Marshalls I don't go to too often, and I'm glad I did because look what I found. Now some of these were too small for me or just didn't fit right, but I always like to document the finds and share with you guys in case you happen to be looking for something like this or just catches your eye and you're like, ooh, I want that. Because I'm not going to lie, you asked me at least 2 years ago and I wouldn't step foot in a Ross unless it was Christmas and I was looking for a cheap-ass gift. Oh, and then of course, Goosebumps Completionist drops in the group that Ross has anime figures, like stuff that Target clearanced out, pops, all kinds of pop culture shit. So I went to hunting and I found quite a lot of shit, and honestly, I didn't grab everything I saw, but there was a couple things I had to have. The Dragon Star figures were overpriced in my opinion. Alright, here's the deal. Saw a post on one of the Facebook Goosebumps groups. After I just went through this crazy fight where I got like all the Ross, TJ Maxx, and Marshall Goosebumps shirt, this bastard rises to the occasion and shows up on my radar. There's actually also a Welcome to Dead House shirt, but after I went to 3 different locations, I had not found it. But I found him. And I'm kind of in my tie-dye phase, so I'm really digging the vibe. I can't wait to rock this. I feel like I've got like 20 Goosebumps shirts now. If you guys want to see my entire collection, let me know. I'll lay them out and talk about them. Anyway, alright, so as you guys know, I take a yearly trip down to Tampa. And I go to the Busch Gardens event called Hallow Scream. It's like a discount version of Halloween Horror Nights. For probably a third, if not a fourth of the price, you get about 5 scare houses instead of 10, 5 scare zones, and you get to walk around the park at night. So I'm not a huge fan of Busch Gardens, but I usually go to this event because not only is it nostalgic, but it's affordable. So here's what I picked up. I usually buy a blanket every year. Last year, the blanket was kind of shit, so I didn't get it. But this year, it's a black and red tie-dye with a skull and a rose. Just real basic shit, but I like it. It's got the brand on it. I like the way they feel. So does my cat. And I picked up this shirt. It's blood spattered. It says I'm fine. And when you flip it over, it's got handprints on the back. So I was pretty thrilled with that. This was like... This was $30. Whenever you spend over $25, you get the blanket for $20. The blanket's $35 on its own, so I got a dealio. So, yeah. This is my first week of October pickups. What'd you guys get? So, this was from the Goosebump group. That's why I went hunting. But in the personal group I've talked about before, Goosebumps Completionist had posted a picture. And Ross and Marshalls, they're picking up some good shit, guys. Check this out. Now, there was a lot more, as you see from the picture on screen here. There's a lot of really cool statues and figures, but I'm short on space. I wasn't even going to grab these, but the price was right, so I said, screw it. I have a few horror pops. I figured why not add to it. So I got Leprechaun. I'm not fully caught up in the MCU, but I do enjoy Venom, and I think this Venomized Captain America looked really cool. And he's got a bobblehead, so I was like, yeah, we're doing that. Guys, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I'm a Gen 1er, so a Scyther figure that was 15 and is now 5, yeah, you're coming with me. And I'm also a huge fan of the 7 Deadly Sins. I think they kind of got shittier as we got to like season 4 and the end of the series. But essentially, the first 2 seasons were pretty sweet. And these are 2 of my favorite characters. So I grabbed Bon and Meliodas. I didn't pay more than $5 a figure here. Now, the Dragon Ball figures, I'm probably going to go back for. I just was on the fence. I kind of should have grabbed them, but they were giving me shit at the register when they were like, oh, this one doesn't have a price tag. It's ringing up. We'll do 20, 25. And I was like, no. Because that was like the full price anyway. So that's my quick haul. Was not expecting to go out and find all this stuff, but I did. So, get out there, guys. There's shit to be found. Heading from one job to the next, I came across this at a TJ Maxx and a Ross. I picked up this Slappy shirt, this Vegeta's SS4 figure, and this Tanjiro figure from Demon Slayer. And I found the alternative Horlean tie-dye shirt, and it actually fit well, so I bought it. Went to a different Ross in a different town, and I actually came across these shirts and figures. They were neat, but each one was 15. I already had Tanjiro, Naruto was beat up, and the other Naruto was also beat up. So I ended up grabbing a King Piccolo and an SS2 Gohan. And these are my last finds for the week. I picked up this awesome Creepshow shirt where it says Beware of Monsters. Kids reading a Creepshow comic as the Creepshow's bed. I love it. It's got that whole like shirt vibe that Spencer sells all this stuff like don't talk to strangers, blah, blah, blah. It's classic. And then I picked up this. This is a Chilling Adventures of Sabrina shirt, which if you guys didn't know, she's actually part of the Archie comic series. Greendale's right next to Riverdale. That's not important, but I'm a huge fan of the series on Netflix, so of course I had to get a shirt to represent it. So yeah, guys, that was my first week of October. And there's my fucking cat. That was my first week of October pickups. Hope you guys found some cool stuff.